is based on forced appreciation. Does that change if you do the Burr method, or?
It's more of an income-based approach as opposed to comps. So this is still a duplex. So the question, did everyone hear the question? Yeah? Okay. So there's two types of evaluations. There's an income valuation and a comparisons evaluation. And so because this is less than 4 units, or 4 units or less, it's going to go on the comparables. So not on this one. Although forced appreciation is an important topic, and just kind of, I wanted to put in there. Sorry for the confusion.
No, it makes sense.
Okay. So yeah, so my net on this one was $77,000 in cash, no capital gains taxes. It's a loan that I got from the bank. So that $77,000 I could go use on other properties. And then I write off all the interest, okay? So basically when I do my taxes, I get a 1098 from my mortgage company saying I've paid, $12,000 in mortgage interest this year, and so that goes against my income. So one other thing that I want to talk about with, we'll continue on. Next. So how do you pay for all this? Mortgages. You can have up to 10 government-backed mortgages. Those are Fannie Freddie mortgages. Trust me, when you get to that like 8 or 9, you're gonna be just fine. You're gonna find other ways. That 10 is not a big deal. FHA, first-time homeowners assistance. So I use the VA FHA loan combination for my first property in El Paso, Texas. It's excellent. It's great. 3.5% down. If you're not a veteran, that's totally fine. 3.5% down. You buy a $100,000 house. If you got 5 Gs, you can probably get in the door. That being said, if you buy in certain areas of Savannah, the city of Savannah will give you a 0% interest loan called the Dreammaker program that will give you down payment assistance. There are also a bunch of U.S. government grants if you're buying in an agricultural area, which honestly there's a bunch like 10 minutes away from Savannah. It's incredible, and you qualify for all these other different mortgages and different loans. So if you got 5 Gs in your pocket, you can probably get into a house. If you have a job and no 5 Gs, you do a little bit of digging, deal with the government a little bit, and you can probably get inside a house and buy one. The government wants you to do this. Do it. It's really not a normal thing that I say for people that know me. 3.5% down payment, can buy up to 4 units with this loan. So that's pretty incredible. It's really powerful. VA Veterans Assistance Loan, 100% financing, even more sometimes, like I said. That's, if you don't mind, spending some time living in a multi-unit apartment complex, it's excellent. And when I was in, we were on, year off, and so, who's been to Fort Hood? Been to Fort Hood? Cool, great. You got to Killeen, and there's just, right before you forget that freeway it is, but there's just these cul-de-sacs that are filled with fourplexes, and you can buy them for like $200,000. They rent for $1,000 a pop. Yep. There you go. So that's how I got started in real estate. It was my staff sergeant, the QC guy, he was doing that. And they were just buying these things up. They'd go deploy, get a down payment, live in there for a year, go deploy again, put a new renter in there, just bam, rinse, repeat. Some people had good wars, other people had great real estate education. I fell into that one. Conventional, 10% down. There's nothing wrong with conventional property. The big issue with these FHA and VA loans is they are a little bit harder. You have to, you can't buy a fixer-upper. Although that is changing. There are now VA loans that give you money to fix up the property on the front end. Crazy stuff. I'm not a mortgage broker, talk to your mortgage broker, but there are programs going out there. Hard money. Oop. Think legal loan shark. Expensive, riskier, need to refinance, usually within 18 months. Most of my stuff's about 12 months or so. The nice thing about hard money, I give them a call, I say I need to make this deal, and they go, cool, great, we'll get it done. No problem. That's their job. Their job is to give me money. And it works. Private money. Any non-traditional lender. A lot of people will say they're private money brokers, aka they're hard money. They're bullshitters. Excuse my French. So private money is going to be your friends, going to be your family, going to be your soldiers, going to be your employees, going to be your bosses, going to be the lawyers. I'm trying to get Liz Thompson to invest with me. She won't. She sees all my 10%. She's like, I can't believe you're paying that. I said, well, I can be paying you that. But anyways, so everything's negotiable. Everything is negotiable when it comes to private money. I do lump sum, no interest payments, done when the house is sold or refinanced. And that's it. So I don't have to worry about loan payments. I don't have to to worry about all those other things. It's about trust. It's about doing the right thing. I give out weekly progress reports to all my properties. There's been snafus. I've only lost money on one property. It's super frustrating. We sold it for $400,000, and I had to pay like $4,000. So honestly, it's a cheap lesson. But that being said, the guy that I went in with, I ended up paying back all his money and that $4,000 out of my pocket. And he goes, man, when's the next one? I was like, oh, shit, I don't want to lose money again. Ardsley Park, I don't play there anymore. Can be the seller of a property. That 98 house deal, it was going to be seller financed. It was going to be like a 5.7 million that he was going to seller finance. I just had to come up with 350K. Not a big problem. So it's everything's negotiable when it comes to this. These aren't the banks, and there are legal ways to do all of this stuff. You can structure with a promissory note, all that other stuff. Josh Walker definitely be able to help you out with that. He's actually done quite a few of mine. You've seen some of my promissory notes with that. Well, Melina has. He doesn't do it anymore.
Okay.
All right, thanks. Tax benefits, like I said, depreciation. So with your taxes, if you're a W-2 employee and you just take your standard depreciation or standard deduction, that's fine. But it's not talking about you. So this one goes on, I think, your Schedule C or Schedule E. Says 27 and a half years for residential property. So that duplex at $425,000, and this is just the land. Excuse me, just the property, not the land. Just the building, not the land, because land doesn't depreciation. Yeah. So $425,000 divided by 27 and a half. That's the formula. And that's going to be $15,000 per year that I can deduct from my taxes for the depreciation of that property. That's wear and tear, that's all that other stuff. So if I'm pocketing roughly $1,000 a month, that's $12,000 a year. So that property looks to be a loss on my books, but I'm putting $1,000 into my pocket every single year or every single month. How does that work? It's because the government wants you to own stuff. It's credible. That's what somebody wrote this in the tax code. Take advantage of it. So this big property that I pulled a bunch of money on, that I don't pay taxes on, I don't pay the income that I pulled off of it, I can also depreciate all that. And then, of course, I'm going to have repairs, I'm going to have other expenses, I'm going to have property taxes, mortgage insurance, all sorts of stuff. That thing's going to be a loss leader in my taxes. I'm not paying taxes on that thing, heck no. And and I'm getting paid for it. This is the power of rentals. Expenses, reduce your tax liability. Loss leader may lose money but actually be putting cash in your pocket. Extra materials. Well, my house is the same color as all my rentals. Agreeable gray, it's the best. So, it's one of those things you got, I like to mess around in the backyard and like build stuff. And so sometimes my tools go from one job site, make it to my house, and then make it to another job site. I don't know. If someone ever audits me, I got a lot of saw blades, and I got a lot of 2x4s that I buy. I don't know if they all made it into that house or the other house. It is what it is. Pick it up when I'm putting down. Sweet. Awesome. Summary. Rentals are awesome. Everybody agree?
Yeah.
Awesome. Utilize cap rates year-end to determine if it's a worthwhile investment. Evaluate deals. Hyper important. Figure out if it's making 8, it's great. If it's not making 8, throw it in the stock market. Force appreciation through renovations. Use leverage to your advantage. What else we got? Homework, assignments. Go slow on this one. Determine your investing criteria and risk tolerance. This is homework. You guys gotta understand, what is your risk tolerance? If you want to be a W-2 employee and just make another $100 a year, or excuse me, $100 a month off this, that's fine. If you want to go jump in, you've got 3 months of rent payment saved up, and you're just gonna go balls to the wall entrepreneur. Good on you. It's a tough path, but I believe in you. But figure out where you're at. Talk to your mortgage broker. Find out how much you're worth. Find out how much you will be able to get. Talk to these things. Every 3 months, I do a personal financial statement. I hit my goals faster than I thought, only because I applied for a loan to get another property. So understand that these benchmarks, the money in the bank account, it's 2 things. It's 1, freedom, but then 2, also, it's a scorecard. How well are you doing at this? If it's negative all the time, you're not doing very good, go back, work for somebody else. That's totally respectable. But understand what's going on. Talk to your banker. Do you have a home already that has a bunch of equity in it? You can get a home equity line of credit and use that for a down payment on another property and go forward from there. Talk to these people. They have things for you. They have products. They have programs, small business administration loans, all these other things that they're able to do, especially smaller ones. Wells Fargo, Bank of America, giant, horrible things, don't deal with them. Ameris Bank South, there's a new one I'm going to be using. Her name's Donna. She's awesome. But anyway, she moved, but she's got me on another one. Credit unions, all those sort of things. They will help you out to get more rental properties. There are whole industries dedicated to get you buying more stuff. Oh yeah, talk to your rich uncle. Talk to your friend. Talk to your coworker. And see what's going on. I mean, this is super against UCMJ, but me and 3 soldiers, we went on a house, and I was the highest. So, 2 of them were my chain of command. Like, that's no bueno. We made money. Everyone was happy. Now I've got 2 of my old officers doing some work or investing in me. And then, where's Pat? Oh, there you are. And then Kevin Brenner, if I was still in, it'd be, fraternization, So there you go. Anyways, do what your rank can handle. Evaluate 10 deals next week. Do this. Go out, Zillow, for sale by FSBOs, for sale by owner. Go evaluate. See if this is a good deal. See if it isn't. Understand kind of where you're at. And then
investshs.com. I got deals you can buy.
Yeah. So send any with an 18% or above cap rate to curtis.bellhomes@gmail.com. I'm serious though. It's an important thing, and that's why we do these networking things. Is obviously to get deals, but then also, hey, if you can get inspired over there, Lee, to go kick ass and buy some more stuff and like increase your net worth by quite a bit, hell yeah. So power of words. Oh, all right. Any questions? I know I talk fast. Comments? Concerns?
Questions, anyone?
Got something?
Yeah, I'm curious, what's your take on Section 8 or, sorry. Are you renting Section 8 at all in Savannah? Do you have experience with the program locally?
I have experience with the program. I do not have any current Section 8. The Section 8 issues that I had were the giant amount of, it was just more screening of the tenant. But the Section 8 program here, I think it's like 68 or 70% goes to private, the Section 8 money goes to private landlords. It's like $2.2 million a month. And they also do inspections every 6 months. And my Section 8 tenant had no issues. The problem is she left and she went to Ohio or something like that for family issues. It was a whole 6 months. It was great. That being said, there's some terrible things, there's some great things. They get paid on the first, you get paid on the first every month, not bad. My sister does the VASH program, which is the Veterans Assistant for something, anyways, it's basically homeless veterans. It's rank with corruption. I mean, she had a homeless veteran who was a chick who had like 3 kids, a brand new Dodge pickup truck, and then she never showed up again, and her kids live there, and the kid's like 19 or something like that. But I mean, hey, $2,200 a month drops into her account on on the first every month, whatever.
No, same thing as them. Would you recommend it?
I mean,
The Section 8.
Do you recommend Section 8 is the question?
I don't have enough experience to recommend it, but what I will say is that Savannah has a much better Section 8 program than a lot of other places. I would do your research on, who is the housing authority here that does those things. You have to make sure that you buy these certain things with the correct, there's like a whole checklist they check every single 6 months on owner's repair versus the tenant repairs. So I don't have enough experience to say yes or no. My biggest thing is screen your tenants. There are great Section 8 people. There are a ton of them. That being said, there are also a lot of bad ones. I find that screening it is going to be your biggest thing.
Hey, so on a Section 8, I don't personally, any of my rentals aren't Section 8, but we do property management, and so I have some experience with that. The one thing, talking about the inspections every 6 months, so if you fail an inspection, the city cuts off the rent. They cut off that Section 8. You don't get it. and they don't turn it back on until they come out to re-inspect, and they're not in a hurry to re-inspect, right? So, don't be a slumlord, keep up with the repairs, and you'll generally be okay. But the other thing is, you know exactly what rent you're gonna get, because HUD publishes every year their rent. And so a 3-bed in Savannah, I think is 13 something, that's what they're gonna pay. It takes some digging to find it. If you're interested, I got the documents saved on my hard drive, so I can send them to you. But that's kind of the good thing about it. People love it or hate it. You either love it or hate it. There's no in between, right? It's good for some people, it's not for others.
That's right.
That's Section 8.
I'm curious too about local banking, fairly new to the area. It's kind of 2 questions. One, have you found a local bank that you built enough of a relationship with that is lending you basically acquisition costs instead of using hard money? And the second question, kind of follow up to that, is with the equity you've built up, have you put an LLC against a portfolio that allows you to cover your own acquisition costs, or are you still using hard money at this point?
So great question. With the local banks, what I've done is I've done a HELOC, and so then I use that for my down payments, and that's great. The second thing that I have a problem with, and a lot of my units are too small. My single families are too small. They don't want to do a loan they don't want to do a loan against a property that's less than $100,000, which is weird. And so I'm working on that, and the goal for this next 6 months or so is to create a line of credit. So I've got Bank South, and their mortgage department's pretty cool. But once again, what I do with the very large renovations on properties that I'm buying for less than the renovation cost, it doesn't fit into the normal banker's frame of mind. So I would say no on that one. That being said, instead of paying other people, using my own money, like I said, I borrow the down payment, which is it's not illegal because I'm not doing it on government loans. I'm going against the bank's policy. So if the bank found out about that, then they would probably get mad. But they're just more concerned that my mortgage is getting paid every single month, and then my investor is happy when I pay him back, when I do the refi out or I sell the property. And if we didn't go over cash on cash returns, but if you guys know about cash on cash returns, if you don't have any money in the deal, you should pull money out of the deal. It's infinite cash on cash returns. So that's what I like, and that's my cash flow thing. That being said, yes, the local banks, and also Georgia's Own, and then Workman's Circle. There are quite a few investors around here that are going through Workman's Circle. I think his name's Chris. So.
We got time for one more question. Anyone else? That's it? All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up.
Sweet.
Thank you, Curtis.
Thank you so much.
Y'all make some noise for Curtis again. Thank you guys for coming again. We are not trying to be greedy, so please share this event with your Facebooks. I'm guessing that's how most of y'all found out about it, unless y'all contacted Corey directly. So share it on Facebook. What was it again on Facebook?
It's Savannah Real Estate Investors, and I just wanted to thank everybody. I want to respect people's time. I know that we said that the event will be going from 6:30 to 8:30, so we have a little bit of time, and we want to end it. We want to take this time to network. I think that's one of the most important things about these kind of groups, is that we come out and we get to network. You never know who you're going to meet at these events and what kind of deals you can do. If you have any questions, definitely Curtis is going to stick around.
I'll be there for a minute.
You know, we have Josh Walker here. I don't know if he's going to stick around, but I definitely appreciate him being here. Grab his information. If y'all have questions about buying rentals or anything in that nature here in Savannah, Josh and his office can help. I want to thank Amari. Amari Adams is here from Adams Funeral Home. He's actually sponsoring the slide and the projector, so I appreciate him for doing that. And then Eric actually went out and got the speaker and the microphone. I wasn't going to have none of it, so I just appreciate everybody for coming together and making this happen. So let's give it up for Curtis one more time. So. Yeah. Thank y'all. Network, enjoy, and then like I said, if y'all want to talk more about deals or anything like that, come to us. We're here. My mom and Joy are actually in the acquisitions department. Kathy is my mom and Joy, and they are the ones that are talking to sellers all day. So if you're trying to find a deal and talk to some, they actually know a lot about that. So if you want to talk to them about finding a deal, and, you know, potentially selling one to Curtis or something of that nature.
Yeah, I put a deal under contract with Corey today.
Yeah, so if
like
you're
like
looking-
3 hours before this. So
Yeah, so it's it works, you know. So definitely,
I've
you guys
also worked
crush
in
it out there.
acquisitions as well, so if you have any questions about that.
Yeah, definitely.
I used to do what Joy does.
But we appreciate everybody for coming. So thank you so much. Appreciate it.